Hello, welcome back to another video. In this video, we will discuss about the type checking. In programming languages, type checking can be categorized as two different types. First one is the statically typed and second one is the dynamically typed. As you can see in this diagram, we have statically typed language and dynamically typed. And statically typed and dynamically typed refers to when and how the types are checked in the code. Here the type means the type of the variable or the data types of variable. First we will discuss about the statically typed language and then we'll discuss about the dynamically typed language. In case of statically typed language, variable types are determined at compile time. This means you must declare the data type of a variable when you write the code. Some examples of statically typed language is Java, C, C++, C#, Swift. Now let's discuss about few characteristics of statically typed language. The first one, as you can see mentioned over here, compile time type checking. It means type checking at the compile time. The compiler checks for the type error before running the code. It catching the mismatches or misuse of data type early. The second point, as you can see, it is type safety, because before going to the central processing unit, it is checking its type, or before the execution it's checking its type. So that's why it is type safety. So that's why we can call it type safety. Number third point, that is the less runtime flexibility. Variables cannot change their type after the declaration. So when the code will execute at the CPU or at the runtime, that time you will not be able to change the type of the data directly. So for that you need to typecast. You have to typecast the data from one type to another type. Third point is the better benefits or better performance. Since the types are known at compile time, statically typed languages are often faster because the compiler optimizes for these fixed types. Now let's discuss about the dynamically typed language. In dynamically typed language, variable types are determined at runtime. This means you do not have to specify the type when you declare a variable, and the language determines it during the execution time. Some examples of the dynamically typed language are Python, JavaScript, Ruby, PHP. Now let's discuss about few characteristics of dynamically typed language. The first one we already discussed, that runtime type checking happens. Error related to type only appears when the code is executed. Greater flexibility or ease of use. Variable can be reassigned with values of different types. Also flexibility, it is having the flexibility. Why? Because variables can reassign with values of different types. So that's why there is a flexibility. But there is a potential for type related runtime error. Since the type checking happens at runtime, error may go unnoticed until the code is actually executed, which can lead to the issues that are harder to debug. So that's why both have its benefit and disadvantages as well. I hope now these points are clear. Now in this section you can see examples of statically typed languages and dynamically typed languages. In the left side, C, C++ all are there, X++ is also there, and in the right side you can see Python, JavaScript, Ruby, PHP. You can pause the video and you can see the examples. Okay, now if we'll discuss about the key differences from this section, we can see it. The first point, you can see that type checking, it happens in the compile time, it happens in the runtime. The second point, type declaration, as I already discussed, that at the time of the variable declaration you have to mention the type here. So integer here is the type of the variable X. So that's why type declaration is required in case of statically typed language. But in dynamically typed language, as you can see, X equals to 5. There is no data type. In some programming languages as well, you have to keep the semicolon in dynamically typed language as well, but some programming languages are there where you no need to give the semicolon, like Python. Okay, now here comes the third point, that is flexibility. Flexibility is lower, it is a fixed type, and in dynamically it's a higher, can change at the runtime as well. Let's talk about the error detection. In case of statically typed language, earlier error detection will be earlier before the code runs. At the compile time you will get the error if you will miss any kind of data type, or if you missed the data type of a variable, then it will detect at the compile time. But in case of dynamically type, it will show in the runtime, or you can say it later, only when the code runs in the CPU or the processor. If we'll talk about the performance, it's generally faster in case of statically type, and in case of dynamically typed language maybe slower due to the runtime type checks. So in summary, I can say that statically typed language offer safety and performance benefit with less flexibility. In case of dynamically typed language, it provide flexibility and ease of use, but can lead to runtime error that are harder to detect early in the development. Statically typed language enforces the compile time checks, while dynamically typed language determines type at runtime for flexibility in coding. So I hope now it's clear what is statically typed and dynamically typed. If you have any question regarding this topic, you can write it in the comment section. We will try to solve your problem as soon as possible. So thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye bye.